Okay, so we have Palo Santo. Palo Santo, burn, burn bright. Palo Santo smoke. For us. Let's burn that a bit more. Can't go wrong with Palo Santo. Hello. Hello all. I am Ruben. Okay, here we have the Palo Santo. It's not burning very well. Need a flamethrower for it. Burn, Palo Santo, burn. Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn. Okay, we got some Palo Santo burning. Barely. But I'll get back at it in a moment. I'll pop the camera over here and we can get started. You're live. Gosh. You're live. Gosh. Always managed to disconnect. You're live. Gosh. Always managed to disconnect. You're live. Gosh. Always managed to disconnect. Alright, I don't need a parrot. Gosh. Always managed to. Gosh. Says I don't need a parrot, and then I repeated what I was saying. Anyhow, I've just dyed out the candle. So some Palo Santo there. Alright. Should have brought the lighter with me. Bear with me one moment. I just grabbed the lighter. Try not to trip over the gap. Yes, Lulu, I know. I know, we're live. So let's light this candle again. So we're gathering the elements. So this live stream is for the blood moon that we're currently experiencing. So the blood moon in Pisces, this is part of the eclipse season that we're going through, because it's not the first eclipse that we've had. And it certainly won't be the last. And when it comes to eclipses like this one, we always feel the intense energies for like weeks leading up to the eclipse and for weeks after. So there's so much intense energies. And for people who are perceptive and sensitive to energy, it can be a bit too much if you don't navigate it properly. Hello Ashford, it's lovely to see you again. So I'll pop the candle back over there. So I have some, let's call in the fire drakes and the salamanders. Element of fire, thank you for your blessings on this blood moon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, and we'll go back with the Palo Santo again now that we have fire again. Candle's burning much better now. There you are, says Ashford. Yep, I'm here. Last one was in March. Get out of here. Surely it can't have been that long ago, was it? I think, no. I think it was about maybe 2 weeks ago at the most. March seems a long time ago. Yeah, no. I think you must have missed a few of them. But yeah, so let's get the Palo Santo going. We're going to have a bit of ASMR. So we have fire, we have Palo Santo smoke, we have a little magical box over here containing some magical items. So I'm going to bring some items out of the magical box, and this is going to help us with our releasing and our shadow work magic on this blood moon. Okay. So here's some Palo Santo for you. This Palo Santo's not really burning very well. Let's burn it a bit more. Burn, Palo Santo, burn for me, burn for me, burn for me. Fire, fire, fire. We love fire. That's better. Some Palo Santo. Palo Santo for you, Palo Santo for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'll put that on the side, then we can move on. So let's... Okay. Alright, smart ads. Oh, the last blood moon was in March. Yeah, no problem. I get you now. And smart ad says, who are you? So I'm Ruben Lyron Healer. And Elijah says, okay. Brilliant. So it's, thank you all for tuning in. So I'm going to pull the first item out of the blood moon box. Is the little name that I'm calling this. So we have an opal here. So I have some Ethiopian opal. So I chose this item because if you look at this gemstone, it doesn't look quite spectacular because it has a bit of... Oh gosh, it's falling apart. There's a bit falling off it. That's the thing about this opal, it's quite brittle, especially if it's been water damaged as well. But underneath the little dusty kind of rock surface, there is like a beautiful fire and shine to it. So this is why I've chose the opal, because when we're in this full moon in Pisces, or rather the blood moon in Pisces, Pisces is all about kind of staying hidden within your shell. So it's kind of the same energy as the raw opal here. So the opal is kind of encased in the rock and the dirt, and the energies that we're calling upon is to kind of to release that dirt, to let go of baggage, to let go of attachments, and to work our magic on the blood moon. Okay. So that is the opal. So just bear with me one moment. Okay. So I'll pop that over here a moment. And the next item that I have for us in the box, the blood moon box, we have a light. So the light is to remind us that even under the shroud of, even though the moon may not shine golden and bright, it may look kind of ghostly and red under the eclipse, but the light is to remind us that the light is always there, just as our light is always here, no matter who tries to put you down, who tries to dull your shine. The light is always here for us. Okay, so that is the next item from here. So next I'm going to pull a card. Let's go with this. Also, I wanted to mention about Saturn as well. Saturn is in retrograde. So I have a card here with a bit of details about Saturn. Also have a nice little friendly obsidian skull over here. So I'm going to pop him down there and pull one of the Hecatean Oracle cards. One of my new faves. So it's always good to, I always like to lean towards this deck when we're around one of the major moon phases. Okay. So what energies are around us? Hecate, please let us know. Okay. Beginnings. Interesting. It says new moons. I'm sure I literally pulled this card last time. So it's interesting. So it's not a new moon, but I feel like it's kind of echoing. There's kind of like the echoing, and I feel like the energies, I feel like it's kind of mirroring the energy of the new moon that we had. Because we recently had the black moon, which was a very intense and powerful new moon, which was good for manifesting stuff. So I feel like once we've done the work, we're able to kind of tap into this energy, this creative and magical energy, which is going to bring us about a new beginning. Okay, so I'll pop that down there. Okay, so let's read a little bit about Saturn. So for the people who don't know anything about Saturn being in retrograde, Saturn is one of the planets in our solar system, and with it being one of the bigger planets, it's quite a big planet, so it is quite major in the solar system. But with it being a bit further away, it's maybe not as important as the planets which are closer to us, like Venus and Mars, because they're so close to us, they kind of impact us a bit more. But again, they're kind of smaller, so I guess it kind of evens out there. But so this is what the celestial body, so this is what it says about Saturn. So it says Saturn's named after the father of the Roman gods, Jupiter, and is a leveler or teacher. He teaches us life's lessons, that we are subject to the cycles and rhythms of nature. As we move from one stage of life to the next, he is linked to structure, perseverance, responsibility, and completion of a cycle. Many say the planet's position in the horoscope is connected with karma and past lives. His gentle magic works slowly, but it can be extremely powerful, so patience is needed. So it says, you're invited to use the energies of Saturn when practicing magic for anything to do with old age, with establishing or breaking down boundaries or limitations, with clearing obstacles and restrictions, and with patience. So that's interesting, because we do want to let go of the limitations, and we do want to let go of anything that's not serving our highest good. So that is interesting that you should mention that. Okay. So someone is asked, so there's a comment from Smart As asking, are you Muslim? No, I'm not. So British, yeah, so Ashford is correct. So yeah, I am British and certainly not Muslim. So like Muslims are part of the Abrahamic religion, so I'm not part of any Abrahamic religion, not Christianity, not Muslim. So if any label fits, then it's paganism. Okay, so let's go with another Hecate card. Let's see what other energies are around. Okay. So, just want everyone to just kind of take a nice deep breath, kind of just be present in the moment, connect with the energies of the celestial bodies that are around us. So that would include the moon, the planets, the stars. Okay, and just set the intention to kind of turn inwards and kind of turn our senses off with everything else that is around us, and just kind of have a super focus on the inward senses, on the sixth sense. Okay. Okay, so the card that we have here is, okay, so I'll show you what that is. Wow, this looks interesting. Okay. So the card we have here, it says number 35, which is Vocis Magicki. So it says raising power, so that's interesting. And written within the card there is the Ephesian letters. So the Ephesian, oh gosh, the cat's sneezing. Ephesian letters, these are like spiritual sacred texts, sacred words which are connected with the goddess Hecate. So the goddess Hecate, she's one of my patron deities. So she's a very ancient deity, often shown as a triple goddess, sometimes shown as as a dark goddess sometimes. But the important thing to know about the goddess Hecate is she doesn't just fit into one mold. She's such a diverse and powerful deity, so she can do it all. But the Ephesian letters are Aske, Kataske, Eron, Orion, Ior, Mega, Samnur, Bowie, Fabantia, Semne. So these are magical words which can be repeated like a prayer. So devotees of Hecate, they do use these words, and especially after night has fallen, because that is when the creatures that are sacred to Hecate, such as the dogs, such as the owls, such as the cats, this is when all of the nocturnal creatures come out to play. Okay, so the main message on this card, it says, is raising power. So yeah, so I'm going to repeat the Ephesian letters one more time. So let's raise some power as we set our intention for what we're working with this evening, what we're planning on doing. Like, set your intention. So the intention that you should be setting is to let go of anything that doesn't serve your highest good. Release. So even if you don't physically or consciously know what it is that you need to release, if you just ask the higher powers, if you ask spirit, then ask it to release what you don't need anymore, whatever's holding you back, and the correct thing will be released. Okay. So Aske, Kataske, Eron, Orion, Ior, Mega, Samnur, Bowie, Fabantia, Semne. Hecate, our mother goddess, please look kindly upon your children, and please assist us on this night of the blood moon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so that is the next card. So thank you for that prompt to use the Ephesian letters. So I'm going to pull another card. So I also have another crystal over here, Lemurian quartz, so Scarlet Temple Lemurian, one of my favourites. You've probably seen it if you've watched some of my other videos. So, and I've also brought the Kuan Yin Oracle, because this evening I was inspired. A friend of mine suggested that I watch Blue Eye Samurai. So I watched the first episode this evening, and I thought it was felt like it was quite purposeful. I feel like there was like a lot of themes in there. There's some themes about racism and inequality, and kind of like feeling like that balance between feeling vulnerable and feeling powerful. So it's kind of like what the whole Piscean thing is all about, because Pisces is the crab. Oh no, sorry, Pisces is not the crab, that's Cancer, but still we have like the watery elements. The watery element is all about softness, emotion, and flowing energies. Okay, so I'm just going to pull one of the Kuan Yin cards. Spirit, what have you got for us? Okay, drink from the Emerald Fountain. Wow. Chizzy Nafwa says hi. Thank you, Chizzy. And Ashford Weird has written Greek, I believe. Ooh, so are these the Ephesian letters? If you type that in Greek, I don't actually know the Greek writing, but that is one of my goals, to write the Ephesian letters down in Greek writing, but I'd need to learn it first. So drink from the Emerald Fountain. So this is a message from Kuan Yin. So yet another deity who's around us. So Kuan Yin, she's a very gentle deity. She's kind of like the female equivalent of Buddha. However, she received enlightenment just like Buddha did, but she kind of turned it down because she didn't want to leave all of humanity to like struggle, so she stayed behind. So she's going to help us all to reach our enlightenment. So she has that same nurturing and motherly energy. So drink from the Emerald Fountain. So I feel like there's kind of a theme here. So the Emerald Fountain, that is giving me like vitality vibes, like even like kind of elixir of life sort of vibes. Emerald Fountain. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the book and see what the book says about this card. Let me grab the Hecate Oracle book as well. We'll have a quick look at what it says about the card which we just pulled from the Hecate Oracle as well. So drink from the Emerald Fountain. So that's number 7. I love that number. Number 7. So number 7 always reminds me of like heaven and the angels. So it says, the divine feminine is encouraging of the awakening empowerment of all living beings. When a sincere seeker is trying to find the way through, there is much help sent. It makes sense to be open to receive it, indeed to step forward and drink from the Emerald Fountain, which is the unconditionally loving heart chakra of Kuan Yin. Allow yourself to be nourished by the power and love of the Divine Mother flowing to you now. Wow. So there's much more. So there's a prayer here. So it says, a prayer at the Emerald Fountain. Divine Kuan Yin, beloved goddess that loves me unconditionally, you have my blessing and permission to assist me with divine energy that is for my highest good in all areas of my life now. I kneel at your sacred fountain of love, light, divine assistance now. I drink from your heart, that which fills my soul. I gratefully receive your unconditionally loving help. Om Mani Padme Hum. So that's a beautiful prayer. Okay. So going back to the Hecate card, let's see what else it was saying. Let's see what the book says specifically about that card. So it's number 35. Yep, so the Ephesian letters. It says these Ephesian letters were used in the Greek magical papyri, however you pronounce that, in relation to two charms invoking Hecate, These ancient barbarous words invoke a sense of mystery and empowerment. They raise energy and shift the mind into a subtle place for action and effecting change. They represent a need to focus energies on a specific outcome. It is time to step things up. Okay, so I'm going to speak the Ephesian letters one more time. 3 is a magical number after all. Aske kataske eron orion ayor mega samnye bowie fabantia semne. Thank you, thank you, thank you, goddess. Okay, next I'm going to grab the tarot. So let's grab the tarot, and Ashford's written yes, so yeah. So yes, that is the Ephesian letters in Greek, I believe. Fabulous. Okay, so tarot. Spirit, what else would you like us to know? What can you tell us through the tarot? Please be gentle with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. What do we need to know right now about this blood moon eclipse? What? Oof, cards are flipping over. Alright. I'm just going to keep going with it, keep shuffling. If I just dropped a card? No. Felt like I dropped a card then. Alright, so let's pick a card. Alright. Wow, I love that. Right. So literally the card we've got is like one of the major arcana. So the High Priestess card. So this card is one of the major cards, and it's just such a powerful energy. So it literally represents like divine feminine energy, the intuition. So some would call it female intuition. So yeah, in females, yeah, female intuition, but male and female both have this kind of energy. But everyone has intuition, everyone has gut instinct. So this is what Spirit is asking us to tap into, our intuition, like when we're reaching inside. Once we devote a little time for ourselves, once we put our minds to it, we can tap into this intuition and that intuitive power, that magic. There's a lot of the magic there. Okay, so if you look at the card, so there's 2 pillars in the card. So there's Boaz and Jachin. So this is kind of representative of mercy and severity. So it's basically 2 sides. It's funny, it reminded me of like this stupid lyrics, but I won't even go there. But basically it's important because it's just representing 2 opposing forces, and it's representing also, if you look at the tree of life in the Kabbalah, it's representing the pools, or I've forgotten the proper name, but the spheres. It's representing the spheres which are represented in each of the pillars. So in the tree of life you have the spheres and the paths between them. So if you want to progress, like if you want to progress in your magic, if you want to progress in your consciousness, if you want to progress in life, then you follow through the paths and travel up the Kabbalah. So you start at the bottom, which is a Malkuth, I believe, and that is basically material, the earth, grounded. So you start there and you work your way upwards to right to the top, and that is where Kepha is, and you go beyond that and there is Ein Sof. So that is like from Jewish Kabbalah, although there is quite a lot of different traditions which tap into the Kabbalah, and it's kind of it's you can have kind of different traditions who all adopt it. So I've seen Egyptian Kabbalah. I believe there's Oriental and Eastern Kabbalah as well. So this is why it's just a universal thing, really. But the importance of the card is the High Priestess. So it's just a very powerful and positive card. So you can also see pomegranates behind her. So that is kind of like a reference to Persephone, because Persephone, she was this vulnerable young woman, young lady, and all of a sudden she kind of had that shift in perception, that consciousness, because she had the rug ripped from underneath her. So she had everything that was certain, everything that was normal, that was all grabbed away from her, and then she had to kind of tap into the reserves, the power that's within herself. She relied on her intuition and her inner strength, and she essentially became like the High Priestess, and she became powerful and wise. Okay, so the High Priestess card, I'm so happy that that card came out. Okay, so let's pull. Have we got, what did I just do with the box? Let's pull out another item from the Blood Moon box here. Okay, so we have a piece of carnelian. So I want you to gaze at that piece of gemstone, this carnelian, and I want you to imagine that this piece of carnelian represents the thing that you want to let go of. So feel the carnelian absorbing and taking away, removing the thing which you no longer have any need for. So into the carnelian it goes, it swiftly swirls away and is encased within the gemstone. Thank you, Goddess, for this healing. So that can go next to the Palo Santo for now, and next to the candle. So actually I will put it right next to the candle so the fire energy can work with that. I'll pop that there. Let's pull another tarot card. Okay. And then after I pull this tarot card, I'm going to have a look at some of the information which I've written down. So there's some references to the Blue Eye Samurai. There's a bit of information that I thought is relevant to us now, because I believe that everything happens for a reason. So I believe that I watched that and I was told to watch that for a reason, and it was because there is nuggets of information inside which are relevant for us. And it's a pretty good show as well, but there is relevance there. Alright, interesting. So here we have 4 cups. So I'll let you take a look at that card. So 4 cups in a reading often represents boredom. There's also kind of like an air of ungratefulness as well, because if you look at the imagery, the guy he has like three full cups in front of him, and he's sat there with his arms crossed, like he's not satisfied with that. He's like 3 cups, like last week I had 6 cups. What am I meant to do with those 3 cups? That's not enough for what I need, or that's not enough for what I want to do. So it's kind of that kind of energy. And then there's that ethereal arm just handing out the 4th cup to him. But yeah, you can just see from the imagery that he's very unsatisfied, and he's kind of like, there's just that unhappy, that unfulfilled sort of energies there. Okay, so I feel like this may be relating to some of the shadow work that each of us need to work on. So at this time, when it's around the eclipse time, we go through so many energetic activations, but it's the perfect time to do shadow work. And the reason that we should be doing shadow work, not only does it help us to let go of like trauma and let go of like baggage, stuff that's holding us down, stuff that gets in the way of us manifesting the things that we actually want. Okay, so yeah, let's have a look. I think now would be a good time actually to give you a couple of the shadow work prompts. So I'll give you shadow work prompt number 1. So I want you to really think about this question. So if you for people who watch this video back, I'd suggest maybe pausing the video. So what skills do I lack? So this is a question which comes from a place of trying to like understand yourself, not judging yourself, not putting yourself down. It's just simply just to understand yourself, to know yourself a bit better. So what skills do I lack? What am I not brilliant at? So I want you to just take a moment to think about that. So that is the first shadow work prompt rather. Okay, and that's tying in with that card. So I'll let you have one last look at that card and then we'll move on. Okay. Which cards do I want next? I do have some other cards here. Oh right, yes, I remember now. I grabbed the Sacred Sites deck because I believe we may need an energy from some place on this earth. So the Sacred Sites cards are good for tapping into energies from the PowerPoints, that sounds like I'm talking about a computer program, but I mean like the energy centers of the planet. Okay. Alright, so let's pull one of these Sacred Sites cards. Spirit, what energy is relevant to us? What energy connects with our past lives? Or parallel lives even? Because time is not linear. At least I don't believe it is, so everyone's welcome to believe what they like. Okay. Okay, Sacred Site cards. What have you got for us? What is relevant for us now? Okay. Mount Kenya. Interesting, I've not pulled this card before, so I'll just make sure you can see that card properly. Mount Kenya. Okay. Interesting, very interesting. So in the card you can see three. You can see 3 kind of, are they bulls or cows? But they're certainly, I believe the cows, but they've got the giant horns. And then there is in the middle of the image there is the shield. So there, that is kind of showing us like the ancestral protection that we have around us. It's interesting when you look at like African imagery on shield, excuse me. Like it's all relates to the ancestors. So no two shields would look exactly the same. So if you have different ancestors, if you have different family bloodlines, etc., then they would. It's kind of like if you think of kilts. If you think of kilts and and like the Scottish Highlands, they each have different patterns on their tartan, and the African shields, the shields which are displayed in the home, they kind of operate in the same manner. They have imagery and artwork which relates to their ancestral line. Okay, so Mount Kenya. I'm gonna have a look at the book for this one because there's so much going on in this card. Okay, let's have a look. Mount Kenya. And it also specifies each of these sacred site cards, they connect with one of the 4 cardinal points. So it's connecting with the south, which is interesting. Again, that's like a fire energy. And interestingly enough, you can also see sun and moon at the top, which is interesting. But let's see, these cards are not numbered, okay, which is interesting. So Mount Kenya, let's find that one quickly. Mount Kenya, oh, there's some Mount something there. Oh, that's Mount Sinai, wrong mountain. Mount Fuji, where is this Mount Kenya? But these cards are so damn interesting. Like when I first got these cards, I did a reading for myself to see like where my past lives were relating to. So I pulled up Delphi. I believe I pulled up Egypt, of course, the pyramids. So these are they're all important within my own past life, and it's not surprising. Oh, that was the other one that I pulled up as well. It was one of the stones. I can't remember which. It was one of the stone circles. It had the picture of like Merlin in it. Was it Stonehenge? I think it might have been Stonehenge. But let's go back to this. So which mountain was we looking for? Mount Kenya. Where is that one? Oh, alright, so it arranges them in the cardinal points, so it'll be in south. Mount Kenya 172. Got there in the end. Sorry for being so slow. 172. Okay, here we go. So it says the energy and focus is sustenance. The location is Nyeri in Kenya. So these cards, they operate on lower world, middle world, and so there's different parts in upper world. Wow, so yeah, the cards are like kind of split into 3 different layers. So this is why they're so deep. So I'm going to go in with the middle world. Let's have a look at present. So it says Mount Kenya is the link between the heavens and the earth, a resting place for the gods. So I'll let you have a look at this card while I read this. So it's a resting place for the gods when they visit. As the provider of fresh water for more than 2 million people, this mountain sustains life itself. Its flora is diverse and bountiful, allowing all who reside on and near it real potential to thrive, so long as the delicate balance of man, animal, vegetation prevails. The power symbol is the Maasai shield and spear, signifying the defense of the freedom to live and prosper. It is your birthright to live and prosper in a world that has all we could ever need. If you do not feel that you are thriving right now, then you need to address why. What do you think you are lacking? Is it something material or emotional? And who or what do you think can provide what you need? Be brutally honest with yourself, for in truth it does not take much to sustain a fulfilling life. Wow, so that is very interesting. It's almost like it was prompting you to do some more shadow work, because we was literally just looking at similar questions to that one. Wow. So yeah, I do like that. Right, so I'm going to go with another tarot card, and then we might pull some more energies. Okay, that's more tarot. Spirit, what else do we need to know? What other energies are around us? It's been... So, has it been just about a week since we had the last video? But yeah, it might be more than a week. Yeah, because I was waiting for the full moon to happen. But here we are anyway, so let's see what else you've got for us. Wow, I do not believe that. That is shocking. So literally we have the High Priestess and now we have the Magician. So this is just like such intense, powerful cards. So with a lot of these major arcana cards coming through, it's showing that there's like a lot of divine intervention, like Spirit is working through us, Spirit is on this, Spirit is on a mission for us. So the Magician card, so I'll let you have a proper look at that again. So the Magician card, he's all about, if you think about like what magicians do these days, it's nothing like that really. Because magic these days, like when people think of magic, they think of trickery and deception, sleight of hand, stuff like that. But true magic is nothing like that. So true magic is pulling in energy from the ether, working with elemental energy and directing that energy towards your goal and manifesting something in the physical earth, in this physical realm. So this is what magic is, and that is what the Magician does, and this is what Spirit is guiding us towards. Okay, so Spirit is guiding us to get our manifesting hats on and get your creative juices flowing and raise that energy and direct it with your will. So again, bearing in mind with the Magician's pyramid, to know, to will, to dare, to be silent. So keeping all of these things in balance. If you want to know more about that, there is a video on my YouTube, the Magician's pyramid or the Witch's pyramid or the 4 powers of Magick. But the Magician card, I think it's quite amazing that literally, I've only pulled a few tarot cards, but literally we have received High Priestess and Magician. So it's ultimate divine feminine, ultimate divine masculine, the opposing Magick. So the goddess and god, when they're working together, the goddess, she is the driving force with the ethereal realms. So she has the connection, she is the bridge to the spirit world, and the Magician, or rather the divine masculine, he is the connection to manifesting stuff on the physical realm. So it's the combination of both of those energies, the yin and yang, the male and female, divine masculine, divine feminine. It's the working together of both of those elements that allows us to work magic, that allows us to manifest things into our life. Okay, the Magician, wow. That is an amazing card. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to pull another Sacred Sites card, see what other energies may be useful for us, like especially if people are watching from different places. So we may have people on different sides of the planet watching this, so that is interesting. Okay. And there may be, I know if any of you are like me, there's like, you may have like such a strong connection to a place that you've never been before, but you desperately want to go to that place, and that is kind of, I feel like that has connections to past lives, parallel lives, and to your true self. Okay. Frog Mountain. Okay. Interesting, I'll show you that card. Frog Mountain. So I'm not actually sure where that is, but there's some beautiful imagery there. So alright, so it looks like, yeah, so there is, so I believe there is a connection with the First Nation. There's a beautiful white wolf. So again, that's giving me Hecate vibes. Okay, so let me have a quick look at the book, if I find it. Yep. What does this card, in which direction is it pointing in? So this card is connected to the west. So we've had south before, now this card is connecting to the west. Okay. Come on, where are you? West Frog Mountain. So, oh wow, so that's in Canada, Frog Mountain. So that's on page 238. Let's have a look. Interesting. So if I ever do get to Canada, I'll be sure to have a visit of that. So again, I'm going to read from the present. So this is the middle world. So there are deeper layers to this, but just to make it more simple, I'm just reading like the middle world and the present part of the card, because I feel like that is the most important for us right now, because we're trying to grasp the energies that are around us now. So it says, this card depicts a little girl on the reservation who cannot go to school because of the legal fiction that her family are extinct. Are you facing a challenge to your identity from the government or another social group or individual? It may be to do with lands, home, family, birthright. When will it stop? It is time to make a stand and to refuse to allow anyone to take away what is rightfully yours. This card's power symbol is a sacred hoop, shown radiating out to the four directions which nourish you. The beam from the east brings peace and light into your life. The beam from the south brings warmth. The west offers the rains to wash away all fears, while the north gives you the strength and endurance to sustain what you are going through. Call upon the four quarters of the earth to help you on your journey to wholeness and well-being. Okay, interesting. So that is the connection with that place. So if that place is accessible to you, if it's nearby, then, or if you ever do venture into, if you ever venture nearby to Canada or wherever, I've forgotten where it said it was now, but it was a specific place in Canada. But if you... Frog Mountain, but yeah. Where... Did it give any more directions about where that was? I'll just double check. So it was 238. I remember now. 238. Oh, okay, so it says location is British Columbia, Canada. Okay, and the energy focus, it says, is repatriation. Wow, okay. Interesting. Right, so next I'm going to just grab the magical cards now. So let's get into a bit more of the ASMR. So I want you to visualize this card. I want you to imagine that the card is wrapping around anything which is not needed, something that you would like to release. So see that loop there, see the loops becoming smaller and smaller and tighter until it becomes a knot, trapping and securing the thing which you would like to release. So see that knot there. Okay, now thinking of yet another thing that you would like to release, or if you would like to focus on that same thing again, just to give it extra emphasis, you can focus on that again if you like, or focus on the next thing that you would like to bind and let go of and release. So again, focusing on the loop in the middle there, see the loop getting smaller and smaller, becoming a tighter knot. See the knot securing into place and trapping and pulling away and assisting you to release that thing. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aske kataske eron. Orion Ior Mega Samnya Boe Fabantia Semne. Okay. One more loop. So again, this is a big loop this time. So really be ambitious. If there's like something really big, something really big and something that you may otherwise feel like it's impossible to shift, I want you to think of that now. So let's capture it within the magical card loops. See the loop becoming smaller and smaller, securing around this issue, this problem, this energy. With the power of the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the goddess and god, with our own inner high priestess and inner magician, as within so without, grabbing hold of this issue, securing it into place. The knot is wrapping around it, holding it into place, and it is tight. Let's release that now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. 3 knots. By knot of 1, the magic's done. By knot of 2, the magic runs true. By knot of 3, the power is in me. Thank you. Okay, so let's next have a quick look. So I want you to just gaze gaze at this image for me. So this image is a magic for unlocking. So this is unlocking your potential. This is opening the third eye. This is bringing in a connection to your higher self. Thank you, Spirit, for this activation, for that unlocking. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the information which I wrote down. So some of this information is, I believe it's relevant through like channeling. So go within, I wrote down, bring out your superpower. All right, so yeah, so this is kind of a good time right now. So it's perfect time for introspection, for going within, looking within, searching within, and tapping into the energy reserves of power within ourselves. But also it's a good time for releasing, letting go of anything that doesn't serve our highest good. So it's a good time for doing shadow work, so writing letters to yourself, like kind of going over traumatic instances. If you want, you could write it down. If not, maybe just kind of revisit it, but know that you are safe. Make sure that you have your protection, like if it's protective incense, if it's Palo Santo, if it's candles, if it's black tourmaline, protective gemstones. So make sure you have whatever protection you feel is necessary around you, and then delve into it. Feel it, and then release it. So this is what shadow work is all about. It's about not burying and bottling up things inside of us, like past traumas, not letting it control us and rule our lives. So by choosing to look at the parts of ourselves that we usually would ignore or disassociate with, is kind of the word which is coming through. So at this time it's good to kind of bring out the magnifying glass and take a closer look at that part of yourself that you kind of use all your energy to avoid. So take a look at that part of yourself, heal that part of yourself, release anything that's not serving your highest good. Okay, the next thing that I wrote down was don't lose yourself. So now's a good time for measuring your strengths and weaknesses and your limitations, and even think about what is unique about you, what is your superpower. So these are all good questions. So all of this could work as part of shadow work. They're all good questions, and it's all bringing you closer to self-awareness. So another thing I wrote down was stripping away the egos and the personas. So sitting with your real self. So yeah, this is very important around the eclipses. So everybody has a different side or facet or even masks of themselves, that we show a different side of ourselves to different people. Like we are all like complex diamonds in a way, because we have these so many different facets, and we show one particular facet to different people. Like if you take myself for instance, like people who watch my YouTube videos, they see one facet of myself. Like my family, people who see me in person, they would see another facet of myself, but I'd show a specific facet to different family members. So my mum would see a different side of me, my friends would see a different side of me. we're all like this. This is not just me being like dramatic and deceptive. This is just like what humans just exist in this way. We all have these alter egos, these personas, these facets. We're all complex beings. Okay, so this is why I want you to just kind of be mindful of this and to kind of dissect it a little and to know yourself a little bit better and think about what the different parts of yourself are and what each part serves and how to maybe kind of sitting and taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture that is yourself, like seeing yourself as a whole, from seeing the full rounded shape of yourself in a way. Okay. Okay, so next we've written down this, an old Japanese proverb. Do not speak bad of yourself, for the warrior within hears your words and is lessened by them. So again, this is just showing you how powerful words are. Words are spells. Like, this is known like as a fact within the spiritual communities. Words are spells. So like if you're repeating negative things all of the time, especially if you're repeating them about yourself or someone that you love, then you're kind of bringing that about by speaking it into being. So it's like abracadabra, which is a popular magician saying, like in fake magic, but it's actually, it has roots in real magic. Abracadabra literally means I create as I speak, and that's, everyone does this. Everything we say, we're sending energy towards that to bring it about. Okay, so just be mindful of this and try to shift that mindset so you're saying nice things about yourself and nice things about the people that you love. Okay, so next I want you to like think about when a sword is forged. If the purity of a sword is too high amounts of steel, the sword can't read my own writing, the sword becomes brittle and it will break. So this is a bit of information which I pulled from Blue Eye Samurai. So forging a sword, getting that durability and that strength, you need the impurities. You need like a small amount of impurities because you do need a high grade steel for a very decent sword, but you need like that perfect balance. So this is why you have a sword master who can find that perfect balance, and this is what we need to do and relate to our own lives. We need to find that perfect balance because nobody is perfect. We all have imperfections, but we need to make those imperfections work for ourselves. We need to, if we can't change it, we need to be owning that shit. Okay. So I wrote, yet impurities in the right place give the sword its qualities of strength. Okay, so this is like when a sword is being forged. So I brought my samurai sword here for dramatic effect. Okay, so when a sword is forged, some steel, listen to that sound. That is the sound of steel. When a sword is forged, you need not just steel, but it has other metal alloys in there which give the sword its durability and give it the ultimate mixture of the metals, gives it its strength. So it doesn't break, the sword doesn't break. and it's super strong. So steel is known to be a very strong metal, but interestingly enough, if the steel is just pure steel, it's not actually that strong. It can be brittle and it will break. And this is why impurities are a good thing. And I want us all to start thinking about that within ourselves. So next time we notice one of our flaws, if we notice one of our weaknesses, our flaws, I want you to think about this sword. Think about steel and how strong steel is, and think about the importance of the impurities within steel. Just as our flaws within ourselves, they are important as well. Okay. So next I'm going to give you yet another shadow work prompt. So what is your favourite feature and why? So I want you to think about that. Okay. And then, so you can write all of these questions down. I've probably said quite a lot of them. So there was 3 main shadow work prompts, although there's been quite a lot of introspective questions in this whole video. So feel free to play it back and write them down, and they will serve as a good way of reflecting on ourselves and painting a better picture of self-awareness. So I'll read question 1 again. So what skills do I lack? What am I not brilliant at? And then also I want you to look at the reverse. What am I good at as well? And the next question was, what is your favourite feature and why is that your favourite feature? And then question 3 is, what is my worst trait or weakness? Okay. So again, just remembering when we're doing these shadow work, when we're answering these difficult questions, that we're not doing it from a place of judgment, that we're doing this from a place of growth and acceptance and of love and being gentle and kind to ourselves. Okay? Okay. So lastly, I'm just going to use the obsidian sword. So you can take a look at the obsidian dagger rather, and I'm going to use the rattles here. So I have the goddess rattle. So this is just a bit of quick ASMR and energy work. Yes, I will use the obsidian dagger to just do a bit of psychic surgery in a way, just a little bit of quick psychic surgery, just to help kind of tune into little lingering energies which are not pleasant, which are not safe, which are not good and happy. So I'm just going to do a quick tune in and use the obsidian dagger to remove it, and I want you to also focus on the sounds of the rattling. Okay. taking in a deep breath. Taking in a deep breath. So feel those cords being cut. And the attachments being grabbed and pulled away. Clear cord cutting. And I ask the Archangel Michael, please come forward, come through for us, and please assist us to just give us complete purity of our spirit, of our energetic systems, and please to remove everything that does not serve our highest good. Thank you. Okay. And just using the violet flame to transmute what has been taken away, so it may return to you as something good, something useful, something that you'd be glad to see. We thank you, Spirit, for these blessings. We thank you, Spirit, for this release. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We thank you. We thank you, Archangel Michael. We thank you, ancestors. We thank you, Spirit Guides. We thank your higher self. We thank your spiritual team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. I'm just going to say brightest blessings, and please do feel free to check out some of the other videos. I do have some meditations which would follow along nicely. There's the Violet Flame meditation and Others the Heart meditation. Both of those meditations would go nicely after this to just kind of relax you even further and to kind of do more energetic work and to give you a bit more contemplation. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there till I see you next time. Brightest blessings. Oh, I just saw your message. So let me just take a quick look at the comments before I do go. Sorry, I didn't see that there was more comments. So it said, discontent in abundance. Yes. Okay.